Well, I still do. $20 a year for that.
That's all the games, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you can listen to that on your iPhone. At least I do. So wherever I'm at, I can hear the ball game. And I turned it off on the way up because they were losing 9-5. But
today you mean they're losing 9-5?
Well, last I heard they were.
Okay,
yeah.
When I turned it off, they were winning 5-3
or 5-3.
Yeah.
Well, that sixth inning was a bad one.
Oh boy.
So anyway, but KMOX, I listened to that on radio.com. Over the Alexa, the Echo, and I'm not real crazy about Rush Limbaugh, but I'll listen to him once in a while, and just so many uses of the Echo and the technology. As I mentioned earlier, back in 1974 when I lost my sight, there wasn't anything, and we had to listen to the books that we got on albums. They came on big albums that turned at slower than 33 1/3. I forget what the speed was.
16?
Yeah, 16 maybe. And that's what we listened to books on. But now we can go to BARD, B-A-R-D, website and the National Library Service, download the books we want and listen to it on our phone or on our MP3 players or special players that they provide for us. And it's just great. And there's an app called Seeing AI, AI standing for Artificial Intelligence. It's made by Microsoft. Back in 1990, when I first heard about an OCR program, OCR being optical character recognition, where it would take a scanner and scan printed text and then convert that text into synthesized speech, it would read it to you. That's incredible, man. 1990 technology, and that was $10,000 for that piece of equipment.
Was it accurate?
It was probably 80% accurate.
You could get the gist of what they were trying to say.
Right. Now today, they've come a long ways. They had a program called Open Book. That was $1,000, and it would scan and read, and it was probably 90% accurate. Now they have an app on your iPhone, the Seeing AI, has several different features in it. One of them is called short text. I can just take my phone and point it at text, and it starts reading it as you point it at the text. I do my mail. I go out the mailbox, grab my mail, hold the envelope up in front of my phone, and it tells me who it's from and if it's junk mail or whatever, and so I can just sort it right then and not even have to open it up. But that's and that technology is free, from $10,000 to free. It has currency recognition. Of course, we can't identify the bills, the currency. Can't tell a 1 from a 5 from 100, and that's one thing that the Treasury Department is working on, trying to make it accessible money. But we have to depend on either somebody looking at it for us, or I have this part of this Seeing AI. I can point my camera at the bill, and it tells me if it's a 5 or a 1 or 10 or whatever. Also, it has what we call a barcode scanner. It'll tell us, every product you buy just about has a barcode on it. This will take the barcode and read it to you. It'll tell you what the product is, if there's directions on it on how to fix the product, or the canned goods or the cake mix or whatever. It'll tell you how to do all that stuff with this barcode. Yeah, so you can, like I said earlier, I don't have to open up 10 cans of something to find what I'm looking for. I can use the barcode scanner. And it does it pretty good. It doesn't have all of the products in the database, but they add as many as they can every day, I guess. But so that's a free app that you can download. And
that's the things you can get for free. That's the thing about technology. And people say, well, they don't spy on you. I say, you know what? How else do you think they're getting the money for this? Okay, there's got to be there's got to be something in it for them. And I know there's a lot of just fine people, philanthropic people who do this because they want to help others. Others are funded by philanthropic organizations or government funded. But for the most part, blind folks' money spends too, right?
That's right. Yeah. Just not as many of us out there. That's why some of the products are so high, because they just don't have the market to, to reach out to and to buy. They don't do the mass production like they do with sighted people, of course. But it is expensive being blind. But there are, as you said, organizations that help to offset the cost of some of this stuff. There's a Script Talk company out of Illinois that manufactures the Script Talk, and a lot of the pharmacies are subscribing to that, where they can put a label on the bottle of medication that you're taking. You can put this label on that medication. They enter the data into it. You have the Script Talk machine. Just wave the label over the Script Talk machine, and it tells you what that medication is, tell you who the doctor is, tell you how to take the medication. Before, you just didn't know what was in the bottle. You'd have to guess, and it's kind of dangerous. But with this Script Talk, and it doesn't cost us anything. It's the beauty of it. The organization has donated these Script Talks to anybody that would like to have one, and as long as you're a pharmacy, I think Walmart now, the pharmacy there, subscribes to the Script Talk labels, so they produce those and put them on their medication for their prescriptions. But
I have to think, and I'll use this evening as an example. Before you came by, I thought, getting back to baseball, I went to bed. I watched the first inning. I watched Fowler hit the home run, and I went to bed. Then I woke up a little after 11 o'clock. It was the bottom of the ninth, and they were ahead. I'm going to listen to the last of this ball game. Well,
19 innings later.
That's right. I was up till 3:30 this morning listening to that ball game. Okay, so I was dragging today. I slept. I don't want to say I slept in. I had planned on getting up at 5:15. I got up at 5:45, which meant there was no time for my Spanish lesson. Okay, so I came home, grabbed a bite to eat. I thought, okay, Denny's going to be by. Let me get my Spanish lesson done. Well, I ran into a problem with it where it was difficult. So let's hurry up, but then it's difficult. Then you screw up, and then you lost time. So let's hurry up. When you work with some of these programs, I have to imagine you have to be incredibly patient to stay with this and not hurry up and not get frustrated and take things one step at a time.
When I work with somebody that's just starting out, say on the computer or on the iPhone, that's the first thing I tell them. You've got to be patient. You're not going to learn this in a couple of hours or overnight or in a week. You're going to make mistakes. It's not going to do what you think it should do. You've got to be patient with it and repeat what you did and do it right the next time, or the next time, or the next time. You're not going to get it right every time the first time, but you've got to have patience with it. You really do, and that's one thing I guess makes me a good trainer. I will brag a little bit about that because I have patience with people. I try to work with them and know where they're at. I work with all different people at levels of knowledge. People are just starting out. Maybe they've been on the computer a while. There's a wide range of knowledge there. But so I have to set myself into where they're at and understand where they're coming from, and then work with them on that level. And that's difficult to do sometimes because you want them. Sometimes when you know what you know, and somebody else has no idea what you're talking about, you just want to take them and shake them, It's like, come on,
dude, don't you understand?
Yeah.
Because this is the umpteen bajillionth time you've done this,
right?
And this may be the first for them.
Yeah, yep. You have to understand that and realize that, and I think that's what makes a good teacher. They can put themselves in the place of the person, and I was there once. I didn't know anything when I started out. When I got my first computer, James, I got these floppy disks, and I had no idea what these things were. What is this? What do you do with this? It's got a little sliding door on it. What's it do?
Now, was these the old 5 1/4 or 3 1/2?
That was 3.5,
okay.
3.5.
So those were a little easier to deal with.
Yeah. But I even had to call a friend of mine and say, "What are these things?" And well, that's what has your software on it. And so, yeah, I was there. Didn't know anything. Sure didn't.
And there weren't a whole lot of people to show you because this stuff was so new.
Yeah. My uncle, bless his heart, he come over and tried to work with me on it, and he didn't know anything about what I was doing. He knew how he would do it,
right?
But he didn't know how I could do it,
Mm-hmm.
But he did. He helped me quite a bit, just getting through DOS and typing. I didn't even know how to type at first. I had to learn the keyboard. So that was another thing that was an obstacle. And that's the obstacle I face today with a lot of these people that I work with. They don't know the keyboard. Come on, that's the first thing you got to do is learn that keyboard, or we're not going to get anywhere. So, yeah, it's a challenge sometimes, but we're certain farther along now than we were 25 years ago. That's for sure.
And where are we going to be in 25 years?
Oh, I don't even want to think about it. I think we just sit here and think about what we want, and we have it.
Well, and technology goes so quickly now. I mean, if you look at from 1995 to 2000, okay, there was one jump. 2005 was another jump. 2005 to 2010, another jump. And every jump one is more unbelievable than the next. In fact, I was told one time my first Windows computer was an old Packard Bell 386 SX, okay? And that thing had 4 megabytes of RAM, 4 megabytes, okay?
Not gigabytes.
No, megabytes, okay? Yeah. And the guy who sold it to me said, "Look, you're never going to need any more than this."
Yeah.
And never, okay? This computer won't boot up a basic program now. I mean, it's worthless.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And just the leaps and bounds technology has made is just unbelievable.
Every year they have a conference called Power Up. It's held in Columbia, Missouri, usually at the end of March, 1st of April. And I'd love going to that just to see the technology. It's for disabled people, regardless of your disability, whether you're quadriplegic, paraplegic, a blind person, or a deaf person, or maybe you can't speak, you can hear, but you can't communicate. They have all kinds of technology there available for people, and I love going and see what's new, what advances have been made. And was talking to one lady here a couple of weeks ago. We went to a networking luncheon, dinner, or whatever, and she was there with her company, and was it Speak to Me? I think it was something like that, but where her clients, they could not speak, they couldn't communicate, and she would provide them with an iPad where they could point to different things that they want to say, and it would flash it on the screen to people they were communicating with. She said she had just worked with a young man that was in the hospital. He was a homeless person, young, like in his teens. His mom had dropped him off there at the hospital. They couldn't communicate with him because he couldn't speak. And he was there for a couple of months, I guess. And finally, they contacted this lady, and she went and worked with him on this iPad. And it was the first time they said they'd seen him smile since he'd been there. And he was able to order his first meal at the hospital because he could use his iPad, the technology that was on this iPad, to communicate with the people.
He now had a vehicle that enabled him to do what he wanted to do.
Right, yeah. And that's just some of the technology. There's one that I think you have probably seen it, but where you use your eyes to look at the screen, and it knows that you're looking at it, and it does commands just from your eyes.
Yeah, I have no idea how that works.
I don't either. But it's incredible, and it helps people that are completely paralyzed that